The question brought to the text this night is this: YHWH, is the Ark of the Covenant a piece of divine government property? And have you moved it, either by human hands or supernaturally, to either heaven or earth, as your will requires? The first verse drawn is Proverbs chapter 31, verse 28. Her children arise up, and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Hear what this says. The ark is the covenant dwelling. Her husband is YHWH, and he praises her. She is not lost property. She is not abandoned. She is the praised possession of the king. Before the draw even unfolds, the lead verse answers the first clause of the question. Yes, she belongs to him, and he values what is his. Now the text develops, and it speaks in 4 registers. First, the custodial register. Numbers chapter 3, verse 31. And their charge is the ark, table, candlestick, altars, and the vessels of the consecrated place with which they serve, and the veil and all its service. The ark is listed first. It is the Kohathites' guard duty. They do not own it. They carry it. The ark belongs to the consecrated place. The Kohathites belong to the ark's service. This is government property, assigned to a specific department, with specific handling protocols. Second, the architectural register. 1 Chronicles chapter 22, verse 19. Arise therefore, and build the consecrated place of YHWH Elohim, to bring the ark of the covenant of YHWH, and the holy vessels of Elohim, into the temple that is to be built to the name of YHWH. The temple exists for the ark. The entire building program of the Davidic kingdom is organized around receiving this one object. The ark is the constitutional reason the house is built. It is the throne's footstool, placed in the throne's house. Third, the fiscal register. Ezra chapter 7, verses 22 and 23. Whatever is commanded by the Elohim of the cosmos, let it be diligently done for the temple of the Elohim of the cosmos. A pagan king recognizes the ownership structure. The temple and its vessels belong to the Elohim of the cosmos. The earthly realm is answerable. Even the nations acknowledge the title deed. Fourth, the spatial register. 2 Chronicles chapter 3, verse 8. He made the most consecrated place, 20 cubits by 20 cubits, overlaid with fine gold, 600 talents. 23 tons of gold for a room whose sole purpose is to house the ark. You do not build a 600-talent room for something that is not yours. The king's house is built around his footstool. And the Levites confirm this. Joshua chapter 14, verse 2. By lot was their priestly inheritance, as YHWH commanded. Joshua chapter 21, verse 3. The covenant children of Israel gave to the Levites out of their priestly inheritance, at the commandment of YHWH. The Levites' inheritance is not land. It is YHWH himself. The ark is the visible token of that inheritance. Now the second clause. Has YHWH moved it, by human hands or supernaturally? By human hands, yes. The Kohathite shoulders carry it. Solomon's builders bring it into the temple. Nehemiah chapter 12, verse 27 records that they sought the Levites out of all their places, to bring them to Jerusalem for the dedication. Joshua chapter 7, verse 22. Joshua sent messengers, and they ran to the tent, and lo, it was hidden in his tent. Human search, human discovery, at the king's command. But also by supernatural will. 1 Samuel chapter 6, verse 19. He struck the men of Bethshemesh, because they had looked into the ark of YHWH. He even killed of the people 50,070 men. The ark arrived at Bethshemesh on a cart drawn by 2 unyoked cows who walked straight and did not turn. No human hand guided that cart. The ark moved by YHWH's sovereign will, and it killed upon arrival. This is not passive property. This is a throne that walks and judges. Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 19. The pillar of the cloud mass departed not from them by day, to lead them in the journey. Neither the pillar of supernatural fire by night, to show them light, and the path in which they should go. The ark traveled in the center of a supernaturally guided procession. Divine guidance with human feet. Both modes at once. 2 Samuel chapter 16, verse 11 gives the key. Leave him alone and let him curse, because YHWH has commanded him. Whether the agent is a Levite's shoulder, a Philistine cart, or a king's decree, the originating command is YHWH's. The ark goes where the word sends it, and to heaven and to earth. Enoch chapter 35, verse 1. I went towards the west to the ends of the earth, and saw there 3 portals of the heaven open. The cosmos has doors. Psalms chapter 2, verse 4. He that sits in the cosmos will laugh. The one whose footstool the ark is sits in the cosmos. Matthew chapter 22, verses 43 and 44. YHWH said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. The footstool's location is the throne's location. Heaven and earth at once. Genesis chapter 22, verses 15 through 17. The angel of YHWH called to Abraham out of the skies, and swore an oath spanning the stars of the cosmos and the sand on the seashore. The covenant whose ark is the sign was sworn from heaven to earth. And the timing. Zechariah chapter 7, verses 4 and 5. When you fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years, did you at all fast to me, even to me? The 70 years, when the ark was absent from the temple, are named as an appointed season. The ark's absence is as much YHWH's sovereign timing as its presence. Numbers chapter 15, verses 2 and 3. In your appointed times to make a tranquilizing aroma unto YHWH. The ark moves at the appointed season. Not randomly. Not by human schedule. By his calendar. Now the numbers. The Dominion Triad fires at more than 10 times the baseline expectation, at 6.61 sigma, past the 5 sigma discovery threshold. The Polarity Balance Index reads affirmative. The guided draw indicator returns an extreme anomaly, with a probability of approximately 1 in 100 quadrillion that this profile arose by chance. The triple convergence standard is crossed at 93%, all 6 channels in agreement. 49 of 100 verses carry the pre-registered keywords. The ark is named 3 times. The temple, the cosmos, the covenant, the land, the journey, all named. The verdict is yes. The probability of yes is 99.8%. Strong anomaly. All gates pass. I do not soften this. The text says yes. The numbers say yes. The ark is his, he moves it, and he has not misplaced what is his. The ark is not lost. The ark is not orphaned. The ark is not awaiting human discovery. The ark is the treasured possession of the King of the cosmos, moved by his word, carried by his priests, enthroned in his temple, whether that temple is on earth or in the heaven of heavens. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband praises her. And the husband is YHWH of hosts, who sits in the cosmos and laughs, and who will yet bring the ark of the covenant of YHWH and the holy vessels of Elohim into the temple that is to be built to the name of YHWH. This is offered in humility, subject to the text and the Spirit of the Father. The workstation facilitates. It does not speak. The direction belongs to the verdict and the word. What is written here is upright, words of covenant truth, and no more than the text and the numbers warrant. Selah. The verses drawn in this Shield 17.14 session were Proverbs chapter 31, verse 28, Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 13, Psalms chapter 25, verse 7, 2 Chronicles chapter 34, verse 7, Leviticus chapter 25, verse 47 to 48, Genesis chapter 22, verse 15 to 17. This concludes today's interpretation under the Shield Protocol.